Yeah.
Wonderful. Welcome back, everybody. We are now live with the team from the Global Legal Hackathon, who is the finalist from Hong Kong, China, with Hedoao, who is going to be presenting today Decoding Law. Let's just also welcome again all our live viewers. We'll just give them a few seconds to jump in. As a live viewer on the YouTube channel, you can interact by with the chat box. Feel free to introduce yourself, where you come from, and post comments as well and support the team. And we have Maria, who is in the background, Maria, which you have just met, who will be at the end of the pitch by Decoding Law, asking a few questions and providing feedback. So it will be a great opportunity for everyone to learn and to know the great projects that are being developed because of the Global Legal Hackathon, and mostly because of the work that the team are doing right now. Yes. So without further ado, Decoding Law, whenever you are ready, you have 3 minutes to pitch.
Yes. Can we start now?
You may start whenever you're ready, and unless you have any questions or you want to put a few words before starting to pitch, you may do so as well.
It's okay. We can start right now. Hi, everyone. We are Decoding Law from Hong Kong. So imagine you are Bill, you are playing cards at home with your friends and involve money. So your policeman has came and charged you on illegal gambling, but you cannot remember the exact profession you have violated until you receive the summon. Even with the exact profession, it's very hard to be understood. So, but you're too poor to hire a lawyer for yourself. As an unrepresented litigant, you need a way to find and understand the relevant law so that you can better prepare your case and improve your access to justice. Decoding Law's mission is to provide a support for unrepresented litigants to understand their legal position and also enhance the readabilities of law. We aim to give users more control and confidence throughout the legal procedures. According to a survey done by HKU Scholar to unrepresented litigants, nearly half of them has used the legislation to assist their case, and 71% had difficulty in understanding the legal vocabulary as well as the sentence structure in the legislations. This is very much consistent with our survey done to the general public. So let's see what Decoding Law can help you. The first one is the AI-powered chatbot. When users type in general questions, they will drive the relevant law and provisions for you. And the second function is the navigation tool. That is for easy references for the definition and also the sentence structure analysis. Let's see the demo of Decoding Law.
So let's try Decoding Law. The relevant provisions and online legal resources have been searched and provided. Decoding Law has two main features to make legislation easier to read and understand. First, the navigation tools, which have three functions. First, highlighting of legally defined words. You can easily spot what words are legally defined. Second, displaying legal definitions. By hovering over the highlighted terms, you can see their legal definitions on the spot without scrolling up and down. Third, searching relevant sections of terms. Sometimes there are multiple definitions of the same word within the legislation applicable to different sections, and all of them will be shown in this pop-up bubble. The second feature is sentence structure analysis. So when you click Analyze, it will generally split a subsection into three intuitive categories: condition, result, and exceptions. Here you can see if a game is played on a social occasion and is not promoted or conducted by way of trade or business or for private gain of any person, then gambling is lawful.
So that is the demo for our Decoding Law. So this we are going to talk about the system. Short-term is non-profit making, and also long-term is licensed to law firms. And we have contact with the University of Hong Kong about partnership with potential technical and financial support as well. Here is Decoding Law, make law accessible for all. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Yeah, welcome.
Maria, whenever you're ready for Q&A.
Okay. Well, regarding the presentation, in my opinion, there is too much information. So if you could somehow clean it up and leave, like, this is like a typical lawyer's presentation, in my opinion, a lot of text instead of like super key. Can you hear me or not?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Instead of like super key ideas. I mean, too much information makes you become nervous because it's like 3 minutes. You need to have like 4 or 5 ideas in each slide. So I would make it simple. Secondly, the challenge of this kind of let's say I answer to everything is that it's impossible. I mean, I don't know about the Hong Kong laws, but the Spanish law is like millions of law, millions of questions. So when people tell me a project of these characteristics, I'm like, okay, are you going to specialize in a certain field? Okay, maybe in 100 years you can have it all, but how are you going to, in what are you going to concentrate? Fields of law or certain kind of more popular kind of how would you say that in English? Sorry, situations that happen more in society, or okay. Then regarding do you want me to go on or just answer these ones? Or I prefer, maybe it's better if you answer or you tell me your feedback on these two things: the more simplicity in the presentation, and secondly, are you going to concentrate in certain fields, or how are you going to scale the project?
Yeah, maybe regarding to the aspect of law, we have done research before that mostly consulted case for free legal advice scheme in Hong Kong is actually like employment and also family cases that is very popular consulted in Hong Kong. So actually we aim to focus on these areas of law first, then expand to other areas. Because if that is commercial context, we maybe with the later stage that because it's not very relevant to unrepresented litigants. So this is the first point we want to focus. And regarding to the presentation wise, I mean the presentation skills of slides, maybe we will adjust the slides later on to simplify it because I believe this deck is the 15 slide because we have the limitation. So we will improve on that. Thank you for comment.
Okay, then the third thing which I didn't understand is when you click and you get the definition, the legal definition, is it a legalese or is it a simple definition of the legal term, or is it the definition of the legal term in legal terminology?
That is in the ordinance, in the legislation as well, because in Hong Kong law, each chapter of the law, we do have a section to define each legal terms, so that actually we do have the formal legal definition. It's also inside the law, but we just minimize remove the ease that we need to screw up and down to refer to the legal definition.
Okay, but are you thinking of, because something which could be very interesting is to not only have this, let's say, law definition, which in most of the cases is a difficult definition, but also to have a legalese definition, a definition that makes law simple. I don't know if you have thought about it, but that would be really a step forward.
Yeah.
Actually, we have thought about that, but there involves some practicality issue because actually under Hong Kong law, we are trying to avoid the ability of providing legal advice or legal opinion to people when we do not have such qualification. So actually, we are trying to help people easier navigate the law using our navigation tool. But we are trying to eliminate any misunderstanding of the public towards law. So we are not trying to add anything extra to the law, the interpretation of legal terms that have already been existing in the legislation.
Okay. Well, I don't have more questions.
We actually have questions from the live viewers. We have Brandon, who is a barrister in Ireland, who is also going to be a panelist later today. And he's asking, what sort of disclaimer do you have for users? How can they rely on your content, and how? And we also have thumbs up from Chris Sykes, who says, congrats to see more legal tech coming out of Hong Kong.
Yeah, especially very much thank you for congratulations that, yeah, we're from Hong Kong. And for the questions as a disclaimer, because we'll avoid that by giving out legal advice, because basically all of our content is come from the legislation itself. We didn't add anything of it because for example, the sentence structure analysis, we are just breaking down it into different parts of that, but it's actually the raw text of the law as well. So we actually to improve the readability of law instead of like interpreting the law. So actually, our function, the disclaimer, maybe just we are not legal advice, but we just make the law easier to read. Yeah.
Any other questions, comments, or feedback from the live viewers or from you, Maria?
No, I'm done. Thank you.
Anything specific you would like to ask Maria or live viewers, Decoding Law? It's your chance to ask it now.
I think at the beginning you mentioned about we should specialize in a particular area of law in order to better cater to the needs of our targeted users. But I'm thinking whether we should think it in a localized context, like in the Hong Kong context, or more in the global context, because we are in the global round now. So do you think we should try to cater to the need of unrepresented litigants in different districts or in different jurisdictions instead of focusing on the unrepresented litigants in Hong Kong?
Okay, sorry, I couldn't hear most of the sentence. There were like interferences in the sound. So if you can repeat it again, I think I know what you want, but I need to hear it again.
Sorry, just a minute.
Just a minute. We just have some equipment on.
You hear me now?
Yes, much better.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
So my question, is it better now?
Better, yes.
Yeah, great. So my question is, because just now you've mentioned about we should try to specialize in a particular area of law, but I'm thinking whether we should try to cater to the need of unrepresented litigants in the localized context, which is we are trying to serve the users in Hong Kong. But do you think we should look at other jurisdictions as well, like when we are trying to launch the first phase of our platform, should we look at the needs of unrepresented litigants in other jurisdictions as well when we are deciding on which field of law to specialize in?
Well, what I think is that you're talking about a scalability problem or how to do your tool scalable. In my case, I'm like maybe not so ambitious, but I think that a tool has to work very well in one place. And once it's working and it's not anymore a beta, but something that works, that is stable, that doesn't create problems, then I would go forward to other jurisdictions, probably the ones in which your legal system is based, like the UK, I guess, or I'm not sure about Hong Kong anymore, if you're more Chinese or you're more English, but that's how I would do it. But I would not like go international unless it's a tool that, let's say, is not based in law, but is more like something to help lawyers to organize their time or, things like that. But otherwise, no, I would do a good, solid tool in Hong Kong, and then I will go to the next country.
Okay.
One last question from Brandon, a live viewer on the YouTube, is asking if the content is freely accessible, and if it is free, how it is funded. That would be the last question.
Yeah, it is pretty accessible to the public because we think access to justice should not be barred by any fees or what. But the fund that we can refer to a deck. Actually, we are negotiating with the HK, the University of Hong Kong. We are discussing about the funding of the potential technical support and then financial support from the university as well, and also we discuss with the Hong Kong government, like it's informal right now, but we are just discussing to establish this to incorporate into Hong Kong legislation or e-version of legislation as well.
Very interesting. Thank you so much for your participation, Decoding Law. It's been very insightful to know more about what you are developing right now, and always very interesting to get feedback from experts such as Maria. So I really want to thank Maria for your time, for taking some of your precious time to give feedback and to listen to what's going on in the legal tech field and to share your knowledge and experience. Very appreciated. Now we will continue for the next pitch, which is with Juridico, which is the team from Montreal, Canada, which will be starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So stay tuned for the next pitch. Until then, take care. Time to go for coffee, to the restroom, and come back to the live. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.